Um, this is part of the skills training for Kangen Express program. Okay, we now have 3 levels of Kangen Express training modules: level 1, level 2, level 3. And within level 1, there are skills training for that. We have level 2 with other topics for skills training as well. So, um, prospect priming 1, 2, 3. Everybody here should be experts already. Yeah. Go imprinting is what we're doing. We did the sales skill sets previously. We're going to do some of the rest a bit later. But again, to give you an idea of what the Kangen Express program is about, we now have a much better syllabus, if you like. Okay, and this syllabus will be taken by all leaders um, for training purposes. Hold on a minute. Okay, prospect priming process is so important that I'm going to repeat this each time. Okay, if you bring the Kangen Express training is only for our team distributors. Okay, Janet is one of only 2 exceptions. Welcome. All others, not my downlines, are not invited yet. All right. Why Kangen water? Every prospect should have been introduced by you on why Kangen water, and we have the resources in Telegram group. There is a video which very nicely spells out why only Kangen machine works. And number 3 is why passive income. Rise of the Entrepreneur is one of several videos. But since you have your every Monday evening sessions, that is a good way to introduce. So prospect priming on Zoom nowadays is very easy and very convenient. Yeah. So we have also covered this. I'm going to repeat this because it's so important. There is a tendency that you do not follow sequence. Okay, we covered in the previous sessions why sequence is so important. Out of sequence would not gain you any favors. Okay, so PP 1, 2, 3, it must be in that sequence of why Kangen water, why Kangen machine, and then why passive income. You should not do it the other way around. Okay, and of course, information overload is very common. We meet a new prospect and we send them on WhatsApp so much information that they don't even read it. It defeats the whole purpose. You damage your opportunity with this prospect because they get overwhelmed with so much things that are sending through. And worse is that you send it in the wrong sequence that they don't even bother to read it anymore. So information for prospect priming should be fed through piecemeal. You need to be able to send them 1 or 2 lots of information, follow through with them and ask them, how do you feel about this information? Did you find it useful? And that's one way to make sure that they actually has gone through the material, because if they have not, they will not be able to answer your questions. Okay, and that is why the following this system is very important. Okay, we're making it into a system so that it's a no-brainer. Everybody just follows it. You don't have to worry so much about whether you're doing it right if you follow the system. Now, why Kangen Express? Why use this system? Okay, there are a few areas you must have a just cause or a purpose in doing this. in every endeavor. Okay, it doesn't matter what you do. You want to find a new wife, a new husband, whatever. It's the same process that you have this purpose of doing this, yeah? And this endeavor for Kangen Express must be able to bring you some economics. That means the financial aspects of it must be there. Okay? And it must be able to provide certain comfort in terms of your health, wellness in this sense. And we look at security. Now, I would suggest that you think about, let's say you find another new job. You decide that finding a job is better than being an entrepreneur. What you look for? You don't just look for any company. You look for a company where the ideals suit your ideals. If it's a company that sells drugs and cocaine, it's not according to your ideals. Even though they pay very well, you will not do it. If you were working for Pfizer, and Pfizer deals with legal drugs, but you're not into abuse of drugs and all this, so you might find that working for Pfizer may not suit your purpose. Your ideals are not in line, in the right frequency. And this job you find must give you the right economics. They must pay you enough. It must not overwork you so that you don't have the wellness. There's no point if you have a company working as a job, or you set up your own company where the company drains you. You work 18 hours a day. Then you will not find that suitable for you. And the security, it must provide security for you, not only for yourself, for your whole family as well. Okay? That whatever endeavor you do must be safe. Safe in terms of personal security, and safe in many other ways. Okay? Like for example, the job that you're doing must not put you in any danger that your family do not have security, not only just yourself. So, in any endeavor you do, including why participate in Kangen Express, you need to have these four. Because without these four, when you try and do goal setting, it will collapse. You will try, you can find that if you find something that doesn't have these four components, and you try and do goal setting or goal imprinting, it will collapse somewhere along the line. So this is very important in any endeavor to ensure that these components are all there. Okay. Now, who should be here today? Not everybody. People who value passive residual income. People who can afford even part-time to develop this business. People who desire financial independence within a year. You see, as you already know, many of you already know, there's no point setting a goal if it's without a time, right? Oh, I just want to be rich. That is not a goal. That might be best described as a notion, but not a goal. Goal imprinting has to be very, very specific and very well defined.
Owner?
We're looking at people who want financial freedom within 2 years. The business system is like owning a McDonald's franchise. You don't want to be redesigning the franchise system. You want a proven system that's already there. And you want something that is highly duplicable and simple. And Kangen Express gives you all these. And I hope that everybody here today is here because you appreciate these few pointers amongst others. So, as we went through in the previous module about personality profiling, we're going to do NLP, more of the NLP stuff on the level 2 Kangen Express. But today, you should be able to see or feel or think or smell or hear and know that there is a better way, right? And depending on whether you are visual, you will see a better way. If you're kinesthetic, you will feel that it's a better way. For example, okay? So, goals are not for everyone. And who are the people that are not ready for goal imprinting? The people who are not ready, unrealistic, and uncoachable. If you fall into any of these categories here today, there's no point for you to carry on. You can leave. Unready, unrealistic, and uncoachable. You know, for some of you who attended Bernard Chan's training in Singapore, this is a couple of years back, building a sustainable energetic business. The program always starts with somebody saying, the ones that are uncoachable are the ones that always says, I know. If they know everything already, then they are uncoachable. They think they know everything. So, those who are not ready, not realistic, and uncoachable, there's no point to be here. You can exit and go and do something else. So, Kangen Express, today's module on Go Imprinting are for those people who are ready, realistic, and coachable. So, people who are ready to go, who are ready to multiply their business results. We're not talking about business, we're talking about business results. There's a big difference there. Okay? As the last, I'm going to refer back and forth to other training that you have been exposed to, okay? To give you a bit more context. The last time Bernard was saying that your value of your Kangen business is not your rank. It is how many builders you have. You can be a 6A, but all 100 are users, not builders. Your 6A rank has no value. So, people who are ready to multiply the business 100 times. And if you want to do that, you must have a goal imprinting that is extremely, extremely strong. Okay? You want to multiply your life achievements. Now, we're not talking about just income from Energic. We're talking about life achievements. Okay? Somebody gave an interesting perspective yesterday. He says that, you know what? MLM business actually is personal development disguised as a business. MLM business is personal development disguised as a business. So we're talking about life achievements here. Okay? The old way covers the old way, how your parents and grandparents used to do things. Okay? Study well, learn well, and get a job. We all know now, every single person here would know now that there is a better way, okay, where you not only want to use information, you not only want to gain information, you want to go one step further into utilizing that information and turning into intelligence. Okay? A smarter way to do things. So, how do you use this smarter way? A little bit of understanding on your brain is one of the factors. Probably 7 out of 10 people here today are right-handed. And the right-handed use their left brain more. Okay? You're probably good at better at maths and science. You do things logically, less emotionally. And then we have the 2 or 3 out of 10 where they are left-handed. They handle things more emotionally. Maybe sometimes even more impulsively. Okay, they tend to be better at arts, perhaps. You know, they're better at creating something. Now, most of us only use predominantly one side of our brain. And if you want goal imprinting to be successful, you need to use both sides of the brain. Okay? And along the way, you're going to realize how some of these things are done. I'm going to do a 1-2 minute video. I have 2 videos to show today, and they're all very short, 1-2 minutes. Okay? Can you guys see the video?
Yes.
If you trusted the information that somebody was giving you, and that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky, and that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
Okay. I promise a very short video, and that's a very short video. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So, we believe what we believe because we've been told since we were young about certain constraints. Has any one of you, has any of your parents told you that you can be a millionaire? Anyone?
Not till date.
Okay. And if I were to tell you now that you can be a millionaire in US dollars, why would you not believe me? Because you have been conditioned not to believe that. So you need to look at your belief system, a belief system where it has been imprinted in your mind that you cannot. You cannot this, you cannot that. And you have also been told that you can't change that, which is not true. You can change. Your life is not a fixed destiny. You can change it. You can change the outcome. Now, you know me from my medical background. Let me just take an example from there. You know that your genes cannot be changed. Your DNA is not changeable. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. But do you know that your gene expressions can be changed? And it is called epigenetics. If you want to understand more, I'm not going to talk about epigenetics today, but if you want to know more, write down epigenetics, go and ask Professor Google, and he will tell you a bit more about epigenetics. You are born with DNA or your genetics that can't be changed. But the expressions or the functioning of those genes can be influenced. And you influence that in many ways. You influence that through the food that you take, you influence it through the thoughts, you influence it through your lifestyle, and so on and forth. Okay? Now, I have just said that your DNA cannot be changed. That's a fact. I'm also now telling you that the gene expressions can be changed to your requirements. And that's also a fact. And if that's a fact, why can't you subscribe to the fact that your destiny, your future, your fulfillments can also be changed? It is the same process. You influence your DNA for the gene expressions to be different. And that goes beyond just health. It covers every single aspect of your life, including your success in business. So, you have to stop. It's just like if you keep eating the wrong foods and living the wrong lifestyle, that your genes keep expressing sickness rather than wellness. You will be sick all the time. It's like you telling yourself that everything that is good, you cannot. If you keep telling yourself you cannot, you will not be able to achieve anything. So DNA from the mental perspective, from a physical perspective, same thing. You need to be able to influence the expression of your genes, even at the mindset perspective. So stop telling yourself you cannot. You need to be able to tell you can in order to change, to modify, to express your genes the way you want to, for the result that you want, and not the other way around. So Lawrence of Arabia is quite a famous guy, and he says nothing is written unless you decide to write it. Your destiny is not a given until you decide what it is. Okay? Why Kangen Express as a system works for everyone? What makes it different to the conventional way of doing things? We have strategies that are proven to work. It is fast. For those of you who have attended the main core, the core of the Express system, you know it is fast. You know you can pull out all the stops and you can make things happen. I keep hearing people telling me that, it's a lockdown situation, I can't do any business. And I tell them, bullshit. India is still filing hundreds of machines, thousands of machines every month. And Najik is still filing thousands of machines every month, tens of thousands. The whole world is in lockdown. Where is the business coming from? Do you know that there's so many hundreds of machines that were filed for India last month during lockdown? Were they part of your team? And it is the people that keeps telling me they cannot because it's lockdown. because they are self-sabotaging themselves. They need to remove this sabotaging attitude. Kangen Express gives you immediate results. And it doesn't matter whether you're a professional or just a primary one dropout. You can use Kangen Express and make yourself successful. I consider lockdown with many silver linings. It has many good benefits in disguise. Okay? We now have Zoom training globally. We used to struggle with inviting, Kangen is a global business. But we stick to our country, we stick to our city. And now we have Zoom training that are global. We invite friends from every single country of the world, provided the Zoom timing is suitable. You have a new way to express your Kangen business forward. I, for one, always had this idea that webinars would be suitable for international business. But how do I do that demo? How do I do a Kangen demo with Zoom? You have now seen on Thursday nights, that JIT in Singapore does it very successfully. How do you do a Kangen demo on Zoom? Because you need to be interactive. You need to set up polls. You need to set up participation from the team to make it look like a real seminar, a real live event. And over the past 2 months, 3 months, we all had amazing skill sets that we have learned. These are some of the silver linings of lockdown. So, don't just look at the negative aspects of lockdown. Look at what positive values have come out of this lockdown situation. Okay. So, is Janet there, Janet? Janet, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Janet, you know that I don't have a 6A certificate until today.
Lost in the mail.
No, that's because I went past 6A and then to 6A2 and then I got my award for 6A2. I never got a certificate for 6A. And before this, as I shared earlier, is that I had a little bit of experience doing Amway and a couple of other MLM, And tell you frankly, Janet would tell you that I'm her most difficult downline. I'm a most difficult prospect. It took her 1.5 years to sign me up.
True.
Yeah, she keeps telling all over the world. Yeah.
But you see, I had this experience with other MLMs, and I was very skeptical. I was skeptical of the product. I was skeptical of the business. In essence, I started being skeptical of both the Energic product. I'm now living proof to you that you can also do the same thing. Okay? Use Kangen Express to get your 6A and 6A2. It's a good thing not to have a 6A certificate, You still get your step up awards. So, momentum is the currency of this business. Janet, please contribute.
Yeah. Can I say something? Yeah, actually, Philip is really a very difficult prospect for us. He wanted a lot of proof, a lot of explanation, a lot of research papers because of his background, right? But then I have to say this, that Philip is my most independent distributor in the team, because there's a lot of things he picked up himself, he learned himself. He never really disturbed me, I mean, like, he will only ask me certain stuff, but all these years, he picked it up himself. And because he's independent, this is why I believe he has the success today. You guys understand what I'm saying? Yeah, because he's away from me. He's not even near me. He's in Malaysia and I'm in Singapore. So though we make trips there in the initial days to go to KL quite a bit, but that was just it. But after that, he went all over the world himself. And then he came to India, and that's why we are having such a beautiful team here. And that's how we know each other here. Today we have 31 of us. So that's the effort Philip put. I think he put a lot of effort to build this.
Well,
Yeah, back to you.
let me share something else that I may not have mentioned before. Is when I first started coming to India 4 or 5 years back, Shaji, Rajiv, and a few others would know that I literally flew to India every month. Shaji, are you there? Rajiv,
Yes, doctor. Yes.
I was in India every month.
Absolutely, yeah.
And to the extent that there was somebody in Mumbai, which I was trying to sign up, and you know what he said? Oh, this Kangen must be real because this guy is coming every month. This is part of imprinting. You need to imprint in your mind that this is, and one of the ways to do imprinting is actually repetition. Okay? So, repeating enough times is one way of imprinting. So, I went to India. It is like Kangen Express, right? I say part-time, you spend 1 to 2 hours per day, every day. It's not the same as spending 1 day out of the week. I did not stay in India for 1 month and then not go for 12 months. I went for 1 week every month.
Phil,
There is a big difference there.
Phil, I think your famous destination in Mumbai was Holiday Inn.
Always Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
Everybody knows where to
The
find
famous testimony of that chef, you always say.
me. Yes. Rajiv knows where to find me at Holiday Inn in Delhi. Everybody knows that. I'm also at the Holiday Inn in Mumbai. Everybody knows where to find me. Even when I go to Cochin, Shaji always knows where to find me at Holiday Inn. So anyway, Kangen Express, you can use it to increase your income 1,000%. You can squeeze 100 times more out of your life. DNA expressions are not preset. The DNA, what DNA you have inherited is preset, but the gene expressions are not set. You determine what the DNA expressions are. You determine how you want to emphasize on the outcome of your gene expressions. So, learn the system. See, Janet was with me during the presentation of the $12,000 US. And you be able to meet all these people who have done similar things. Now, before we started this, I was having a chat with our leaders in a group that I'm going to adopt 2 deserving rockers here as mentees. I'm going to mentor in the same way that I mentor Rajiv and I mentored Shaji in the early days. I'm going to adopt a minimum of 2, maybe more. And I will be discussing this with the leaders about the criteria for fulfilling that position, for you being adopted for this. And this will fast track your success even more. And one of the criteria, as I mentioned to Ajay just now, is that this person must have Kangen business as their first priority. Because whenever there is an event that is important, even though it is last minute, they must be able to attend and not say that I have some other business things I need to do. Here's another short video I'm going to play. It's only 1 minute, okay? And I'm going to be doing Kangen Express level 3 on the limitless approach to your life. But this is a very short introduction. Can you hear the sound?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Our kids that there is certain things you have to learn to become successful in life. What we're not teaching our kids, what we're not teaching adults, is that the greatest determinant of their success is their conscious level of awakening. See, all of us extend through life in 4 different levels. Most people in the world today, 90% of the population, is at level 1. They are a victim of the world around them. The world happens to them. You, if you're reading this, are probably one of those people, the 10% or less, that have ascended to level 2. In level 2, you've gotten that first glimpse of the idea that you can shake up the world, that you can make your own moves, make your own decisions, that you can tap into inner abilities of your mind that other people may have dormant. But see, while you're at level 2, there's a level 3 and there's a level 4. Becoming limitless gets you to those levels. When you get to level 3, you aren't just learning personal growth. You've taken the wisdom of philosophers and applied directly in life. Your mixture between dynamic creator or entrepreneur and spiritual master. And when you do this, certain abilities open up to you. One of which is the ability I call bending reality. You find that you can, in a way, shape reality to your desires. You're one of those people that people label lucky. But that's because it's not just your knowledge or your skill or how you work with people. You actually have a way to command the universe to come to your side. When you get to level 4, you're no longer working purely from your intention. You're working from inspiration. People at level 4 describe it as, I get these impulses, these nudges on what I need to do out there to push humanity forward. You are operating from a firm sense of mission. And when you do that, incredible things open up to you. Life becomes easy. It flows. And everything seems to work out in your life as if you're blessed.
How many of you here wants to be able to bend reality? Thumbs up, anyone?
Me.
How many of you here wants to be able to have the universe come to your side? If you want to be able to bend reality, you need to get to level 3. Okay?
Dr. Phil, everyone wants to do that, but they don't want to put efforts.
So, therefore, we need to start with today's step on goal imprinting. You need to imprint that goal so deep that this is the only thing you want to do is to get to be able to bend reality. So 3 things to express your genes better. 3 things to be able to express your DNA much better. The first is your thoughts. Second, your feelings. And number 3, your actions. So, we're talking about how, I think many of you here attended the sharing by Romy Vandera, right? And many other top leaders. And what do they always tell you? That you need to be able to think as a success. You need to be able to feel the atmosphere of success. And you need to be able to walk the talk. You need to be able to be a success. And these are the 3 steps. To express your DNA correctly, you not only have to eat the right things, you need to be able to think right. You need to be able to feel right. And when I talk about brain lateralization just now, your thinking is your conscious mind, which is your left brain. Your feeling is your emotions, which is your right brain. And between the brain lateralization, between the left and the right brain put together, you put things in action. And this is what you need to do. Utilize the full potential of your brain. You're only using less than 10%. And the reason we're using a small fraction of our brain is because we're not even, we don't have the skills to actually use it properly. It's like flying an aeroplane running on 90% power on one engine and 10% power on the other engine on the other side. You need to be able to ramp up that 10% engine on the other side up to 90%. So, you not only need to think it, you need to feel it. And then you need to live it. The first step is always the hardest. I always tell new distributors, fast track to 2A. Because the first 1A and the second 1A are the toughest. Why? Because it's like a small baby that's learning to walk. It's always difficult. Once they learn how to walk a couple of steps, subsequent steps are a lot easier. So, step 1A, fast track to 2A. Your journey will be a lot easier after that. So how do you now express your DNA much better? Okay, we go back to the brain lateralization. You need to utilize both sides of the brain. You need to look at your heart's desire. You need to be more independent. Like Janet said about, I was rather independent. I didn't have to bother her. Well, I did bother her sometimes, but not that much. You need to take ownership of your Kangen business as an individual. Self-determination so strong that nothing is going to stop you. And you need to start strong, which is why I keep saying, fast track to 2A. Start strong. And that's easily achieved through the simple Kangen Express system. What I said just now, the MLM business actually is personal development disguised as a business. The more you learn, the more you see. Skills that pay the bills. You know, there's one thing about this lockdown situation that people are beginning to end up with all kinds of Zoom webinars. You need to prioritize. You need to prioritize the skills that pay the bills. Not just learn every damn thing under the sky. You have no time for the business. And this is where focus comes in. You need to be able to focus on the skills that pay the bills. And working for yourself is a better way. We keep saying this. Okay? And I've been saying this a lot as well, that being a distributor is easy. But in order to be successful, you need to be a leader. Again, to be a distributor, you use one side of the brain. To be a leader, you need to use the other side. That's team building. So as a leader, you need to carry out your ideas. You need to go all in to show your example. You need limitless potential. And you hit full speed ahead, like what Bernard Chan always says, momentum. And at the end of the day, there are only three people that you need. And the three people are you, and you. You is what you need to move to higher levels. And one very important aspect I always said is that opposite direction. 5 years ago, when I thought of going to India, many leaders asked me to rethink, are you sure you want to go there? I'm going the opposite direction to everybody else because nobody wanted to go to India at that time, 5 years ago. Do not be afraid to do what both the right side and the left side of a brain tells you, even if it's the opposite direction. And as I said, it's you, and you. Including your competition is actually you. Goal imprinting. Why is to stop you from achieving that goal? It's also you, nobody else. There is nobody here fighting for your goals. It is yourself that is preventing you from achieving it. So that's where your real competition is, inside you, yourself. We talked about the right side of the brain where there's more of creativity, emotions and all that. Sometimes we're really tired. We've just done 5 demos for the day. What is to stop you from doing demo number 6 is your emotional capacity. When you feel that need of achieving that goal, you will go the extra mile. You will do new things in order to get out of comfort zone. And you swear to everybody that this is what you're going to achieve, and you will achieve it. That DNA inside of you is waiting for you to give it instruction, so that it will take you where you need to be, where you want to be. The instruction for living your characters, your reason for living, how far can you go, is all on the right side of your brain because you need to activate that. And you activate that through your thoughts and your feelings. Do you have what it takes? Do you feel that you should be making more money? The answer is obviously yes. Do you ever tell yourself crazy stories about why you can't make the type of money that you want? Or maybe you tell your best friends about that. Or maybe you tell your spouse about that. And have you ever felt guilty for not achieving these goals for yourself? I know some of you do, because I've heard some of you express that before. And the outcome, you need to stop sabotaging your own success. And with that, you will end up making a lot more money faster and easier. It's difficult for some of you who did not attend the core session of Kangen Express. And like I said just now, people tell me it's locked down, there's no business in India. Nonsense. During lockdown, a couple of weeks back, I sold 3K. Who says there's no business? There's a lot of opportunities. You need to look for silver linings. and it isn't a common way, you find your own way. So, success is neither magical or mysterious. It's a natural consequence of good habits. And what are these good habits? Think for a moment what these good habits are. These good habits are your instructions for your DNA to express the right results. Remember, your genes do not change. Your DNA do not change, but your DNA expressions will change to your requirement. It's just waiting for you to give it the instructions to express your genes correctly. And how do you express your DNA? To achieve the results that you want, you start by having clarity. Clarity of where you want to go, how you want to go. And when you think long and hard enough, goal imprinting sets in. You need focus. And focusing, like putting a magnifying glass under the sun. The focus makes fire. Lack of focus do not achieve anything. And lack of focus is one of the key reasons why people do not achieve goal imprinting and the success that comes with it. The lack of concentration. That is why I told everybody today, get out your pen and paper and start making notes, because I need full participation from you today. This is not a module, this is not a session that you can just listen with one ear and not both ears. You want to express your DNA to the level that it delivers the results that you want. As the earlier video says, you want to learn how to bend reality. This is how you do it. You bend reality by expressing your DNA correctly. We only live once. Wrong. We only die once, but we live every day.
Well said.
Again, think about how you want to express your genes. Your genes is just waiting for your instructions for you to live every day. We are all very good at logic. We're all very good at using our left brain. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about your right brain. Emotional IQ. And which areas of emotional IQ do you need to focus on? You need to look at self-awareness. Your ability to understand why you think and feel the way you do. Again, we're talking about why. We're talking about self-regulation, your ability to get out of any mental or emotional ruts. Like the picture earlier. You say there isn't a standard way. Find your own way. Make your own way. Design your own way. Motivation. Your ability to pursue your goals without running out of energy. Remember what I said? You need emotional capacity to do the demo number 6 because you've just done 5. That's motivation. And empathy. Where does empathy come from in the energetic business? In Kangen business, Like I said earlier, Bernard says the value of your Kangen business is how many builders you have, not your rank. And how do you get builders? Helping your team. Helping your team gets you your builders. And that's where empathy comes in. I went to India every month to help all the leaders. They didn't pay me to go. None of you did. And we look at social skills, your ability to manage relationships and build networks. Again, we're talking about team building and building networks. These are all areas of emotional IQ you need to pay a little bit more attention to. And when you have the IQ, logical IQ, emotional IQ together, you get brain lateralization to help you balance your DNA expressions. And very common is that self-sabotage comes from fear. How do you deal with the fear? "43% of business people experience fears." We all do. We fear all kinds of things. The fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of making mistakes. And of course, we fear hearing the word no all the time. So which fear would you like to eliminate, to enhance the DNA expressions to go in the right direction?
Dr. Phil, just to add up on this, one of the distributor, he put up this Kangen business on his group somewhere, and he became a laughing matter, because the people out there didn't know ABC on this product.
Okay.
Yeah, So this is all that about this,
Ajay ji, can I just interrupt?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I just completely, very confidently shared it with them that I am pretty sure, 1000% sure that it is not a MLM which you are thinking, but it's a real entrepreneurship. And about the product, I told him that I 1000% am sure about that the performance of the product. And still now they have told me to connect with them. So that is how it is all about the confidence and the first of all the confidence you have on your product and your business.
Yes.
That is the most important.
So, as I said earlier about not only just thinking it, you need to be feeling it. Fear is part of an emotion you need to overcome. Do not carry failure or the fears on your shoulders. Use it as stepping stones to get to your destination. So, inaction, not doing anything, can also contribute to guilt. And guilt is self-sabotage. And what are some of these? Well, we could have done something that contributes to guilt. It could be something we didn't do that contributes to guilt. Let's say if there is one of your relatives who has some health issues and if you didn't even recommend them the Kangen machine, that can constitute some guilt. Something you think you did, or something you didn't do enough to help. Maybe you should have followed up with this particular client or prospect a few more times. he would have better health rather than suffering now. These are all guilt. What about doing better than someone else? We always like to compare, you know. Oh, he's doing so well. These can all contribute to guilt, and it indirectly, mentally, and silently becomes self-sabotage. And you need to be able to list down, write down now, look at these 5 guilts. Which one would you like to neutralize? Which one would you like to eliminate? So that your DNA expressions will go more in the direction that you want it to go. Very common is the guilt of not doing enough to help someone with their Kangen business. There is a solution for anything. If you don't believe me, practice what I just said just now. Don't only think about that solution when you have a problem. Feel that solution. And then take action. Think it, feel it, take action. You will always find that solution. Because you are then giving instructions to your DNA to go in the right direction. And very frequently it is feelings of inferiority and limiting beliefs. Your parents have told you this is not possible. You believe that. You now need to give new instructions to your DNA that this is now possible. Now let's find a way to make that possible. How guilt manifests in your life, it's like a nagging feeling in you, you know, that after a long while you don't even feel it anymore. It is a form of chronic stress. A chronic stress where people tell you, do you feel stressed? No, I don't have any stress. But the chronic stress is there every day. It's there so much until you can't even recognize it anymore. Look into limiting beliefs, because they lead you astray. So, which of your self-sabotaging behavior is now preventing your DNA from expressing it correctly? Which one? Write it down, because you need to be able to write it down in order to, again, utilize your right brain. Just hearing it and looking at it and reading it is your left brain. You need to write it down in order to activate your right brain. So, limiting beliefs is one of the biggest challenges here, because the first 7 years of your life you've been brought up with these limiting beliefs. Those of you with young children that are 2-3 years old, it is now time to bring them up in a manner that would not put them into the same situation with limiting beliefs. Because after the 7 years, it's very difficult. It is possible. They will have to do the same process as you are doing now to rewrite your gene expressions. It will be far easier to program them during the first 7 years. And I said just now about focus, you know, clarity, focus, and concentration. And it is part of your reticular activation system. Your brain is designed to only focus on one thing at a time. Okay? And for those of you who have not attended a session when I did this before, just look around in your room and focus on and blue color things. Look around the room and look for blue color thing and list 3 items that are blue color. And then ask yourself, which item was actually red in color? And your brain cannot register any because you can only focus on the blue. RS and singular thoughts means that you must neutralize the self-sabotaging thoughts, because when you start thinking about those thoughts, you're not thinking of telling your DNA to express what you want. So, 3 time-tested steps. You can apply the law of substitution. It's very easy. I can't make sales. I can't make sales. Just flip it. I'm not good enough. I am good enough. And you need to write this down besides thinking it, because writing it down activates the other side of the brain. And we mentioned about fear. What is the fuel that feeds fear? The fuel that feeds fear is actually time. When you have too much time, it breeds fear. Sometimes in an emergency, you achieve amazing things because there was no time. That lack of time takes away the fear. So if you are thinking too much, that leads to fear. You thinking more is not the solution. Thinking right is the solution. Thinking right and writing it down gives you that feeling, and then you take action. Try that every time, and you will find a big difference in the outcomes. So, I already mentioned this, we're only using 10% of your potential. The other 90% needs to be unlocked. Usually it is 90% of your right side which you need to unlock. Your self-concept predicts your performance. Okay? Your self-image, self-ideal, self-esteem. The proportion, not just the 3 items, but the proportions as well. How you balance things out. Upregulating your goals earns you respect. And how you do that is, like Kangen Express level 1, you are a student. You need to get to Kangen Express level 2 to be a teacher. Being a teacher is being a leader. Again, level 1 uses your left brain. Level 2, as a leader and a teacher, uses your right brain. You need to have brain lateralization for all this to happen, for your DNA to be expressed the way you want it. And this is a repeat of what we said earlier, that you must have just cause, just ideals. Your ideals must be right. Make sure what you chase for in life is worth dying for. So future intent determines present. What does that mean? If your future intention is that tomorrow you're going to do something, you're going somewhere, today, now, you will be taking action to plan for tomorrow. If you intend if your intention is to make 1 crore every month next year, your action now must lead to that. So that goal imprinting must be there, otherwise there's no future. You cannot get to a destination without setting your goals. So, this is why today's module is so important. You need goal imprinting, you need to imprint it so deep that your future is also imprinted so deep. So how do you create goals? Can everybody see it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Which is the most important factor for you? There's no right or wrong. Just answer what you think is makes sense.
I think visualization, if you can visualize it in your mind,
Everybody has their own, number one, and nobody is wrong.
the majority has visualization.
Yes, we have only half the people participating. What happened to the rest?
We have 29 people right now.
All the answers,
Are similar.
are similar. Because
This is why I say there is no wrong answer. Just put in what your first thoughts are. Don't have to dwell on it too long. So we have 19 out of 26 that has voted. Some of you have gone missing. But basically what we're looking at here is that we've got 53% that says we must be able to visualize. And second comes that the object must be defined. Okay. And who can tell me what it should be? Even though 53% says must be able to visualize.
Actually, the combination of everything, finally, and then visualization. It's a
Exactly.
combination of everything. Yeah.
Exactly. Ability to define it, and then you must have the focus, to take action. And then the concentration to actually carry it out. The action, yeah? So, I'm now going to continue the slide again before we talk some more. So your goals need to be simple and specific. It must be measurable and meaningful. Okay? And it needs to be achievable. Your goal should not be, I want to visit heaven and come back. That's not achievable. It must be realistic and responsible. It must be time and towards what you want. So it must be defined, in other words, to a good level. It must be defined. So write it down now in 60 seconds. The 10 items you want to be, to do, or have. Write it down. You must have pen and paper already ready. I give you 60 seconds to write it down. Write down the 10 items that you want to be, you want to do, or you want to have. 30 seconds left. Fifteen seconds. Five, four, three, two, one. So, it is now whatever date, and I read 20 books. Very clearly quantified and specified. It is now this date, and I have saved $10,000. Again, very clear and very precise. 60 seconds to identify the obstacles. What is to stop you from achieving those 10 things? Write down the obstacles. You wrote down the 10 items that you would like to achieve. Now write down the 10 items, or whatever the items are, that is a hindrance to achieving this. So generally 20% on external, 80% internal. Forty seconds left. Seconds left. Fifteen seconds left. Five seconds. Okay. Now, having listed your goals, you must be able to activate it. There's no point having a set of goals and you have no idea how to activate it, right? So now again, 60 seconds, you can write onto the side of your 10 actions on what actions you can take immediately to activate. You can use the first list of 10 items, write on the side of each item, what are the 10 actions that you can take to activate it. Forty seconds. Thirty seconds left. Fifteen seconds. Five seconds.
Oh, nigger. Hello.
Okay. Now, after having activated, you're going to look at how to achieve those goals. So we've gone from our previous training that you do the why and the how and then the what. We've established all the whys, we now look at the hows. 60 seconds, list down what kind of knowledge you have to acquire, what kind of skill sets you need to acquire. which areas of thinking and feeling you need to do in order to reprogram your DNA expressions. Thirty seconds left. Fifteen seconds. Five seconds. Okay. Now we look at the return on emotional intelligence. Which action will have the biggest return? That means which of the fruits are the low lying that is easier to harvest from the trees? Which is the actions that achieve the highest rewards for the minimum effort? Just pick out one or two. That's it. 15 seconds. Circle which action will have the fastest and biggest return. So now you have a written sort of a map showing you your goal imprinting roadmap, including which of the items that, or which of the one or two items that will give you the fastest result with the minimum of effort. So some people want it to happen, some wish it to happen, and others make it happen. Your task now is to take that goal map that you have and taking action on it so that you can make things happen. And the biggest success killer, is your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. We've been locked down for many weeks. Our comfort zone is to turn on the air conditioning and sit and talk to Mr. Google. You need to get out of that comfort zone. You need to get out of what you are used to doing. Take on a different action. Get out of your comfort zone. You've never done Zoom demo before. Start practicing it. You have never invited a prospect from United States before, from outside the country before. Start doing it. Get out of your comfort zone. Anybody seen a snake go back into its old skin? Ajay?
Yes, Dr. Phil.
Well, do you think a snake can go back into its old skin that he has shed?
No way.
Never.
True.
So, the 4 ways to develop your DNA expressions, 4 simple or 4 categories of things that will help you express your DNA. It's more of certain things, less of other things. Stop doing the old things and start doing something new. This is how you're going to activate your gene expressions, your DNA expressions. This is how you get out of your comfort zone. Because that comfort zone is a success killer. I remembered my first time using Zoom,
You're perfect
Totally
now.
strange. Totally strange to me. First time I used it. But now I'm half an expert. And now I'm looking for new Zoom features to get out of the comfort zone.
Ah.
The first time I discovered polling, wow. And learning how to use it. So, keep pushing the envelope. Get out of your comfort zone. Because the evolution of humans is about getting out of the new way and looking for the new and better way. And that is using, knowing how to integrate your left brain and the right brain with brain lateralization. Make use of Kangen Express as your tool, as your system to help you get to where you want to go. The system is there to guide you. Okay? And whatever rank and whatever success you have today, the biggest achievements are yet to come. Any questions? Well, I hope I wasn't going too fast and everybody took some value out of the session.
It was perfect, perfect.
I know that for some of you this is a second round, but still, I think with things that are valuable, there's always room for more.
There's something unique, which you have taken from here now. Something very unique.
Mm. So, again, like I said, this is one perspective of goal imprinting. Tuesday, we have a second perspective from yourself, which is one of the people who designed Joko's System 501. He's going to be sharing his goal imprinting perspective. And then we get to look at a different angle, because it's such an important first step in every endeavor is goal imprinting. You need to imprint it deep enough. Okay, you need to imprint it very deep so that it doesn't get blurred too easily. Okay, so going back to questions, anybody with questions? No questions means everybody understood everything. You are now experts.
I think you need to nominate some accountability partner, right? Like we mentioned last time, somebody who is accountable to, with regards to this.
Sorry?
Accountability partner.
Oh yes.
Maybe the secret is out after a week. The Secret of Adoptions by Dr. Phil. Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Phil.
Yes.
Just an announcement for tomorrow. We have 21 people out here.
Yes.
We have CJ's session tomorrow at 12 p.m. India time
Okay.
and 2:30
Okay.
p.m. Singapore time. Yeah.
Mm.
The topic is basically what is reality and can you change it?
Okay.
Yeah. So I would request everybody to be there. It's a
Okay.
and they can invite their prospects, kids. It's for everybody. It's nothing to do with business. But yes, it will help us out in daily life and business as well.
It will also contribute towards goal imprinting.
Yes,
because
yes,
it has
yes,
to
very
do
true,
with
very true.
dealing with the realities of your left and the right brain.
True.
Um,
So he's going to focus basically on the mindset and the mental level. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And these are important modules of goal imprinting as well as dealing with your prospects about their mindset.
True.
Okay, very good.